Okay, another video. Sometimes, this is sort of going off of, my first couple of videos and also, changing styles and stuff like that, because I wear skirts all the time. And sometimes I feel like, sort of going into that whole, feeling convicted to do something, that, God will sort of open up a way for you to perpetuate it. I mean, because, if he wants you to do something, it only makes sense that he would, make it a little easier for you. Because, like I said, I was looking for ways to keep things feminine and modest while, working out in the field. And, I found those beautiful, beautiful boots. I mean, they're gorgeous. I'm gonna have to post a link for them or something because they're beautiful. They're made for men. They don't have any for women. I'm like, those look beautiful. But different things where it's like he'll give me ideas, or I mean, I don't know if it's him. I don't want to, put words in his mouth, but I'll just have ideas for things that'll allow me to maintain, wearing my skirts or this thing or that thing, even when I didn't think it was possible. Where it's sort of like, uh-oh, it's winter, I can't wear, my skirts anymore. Well, that's not always the case. In fact, this is just a tip for all ladies, whether you like skirts or not. Big skirts are beautiful in the winter, like long denim skirts. Why? Because you can put so much under them. One time I had to walk a couple of miles in like 25-degree weather, and I didn't wear pants. I'm like, well, even then I'm sort of like, well, pants are too cold because all I have are jeans left over from when I used to wear pants. And they're just too cold for me. I mean, even when I used to wear pants all the time, they were always so cold. But then I'm sort of like, okay, well, I'll just wear my big long skirt. I put on my big long skirt. I put on a skirt under that. I put on a slip under that. I put on a pair of shorts, and I put on two pairs of tights. One pair of, the microfiber tights, and then another pair of, like, woven thick tights. And I still could have probably put on some baggy sweats and still looked nice, versus sort of like Michelin Man, like, I can't get up, I can't get up underneath. So yeah, I mean, big skirts are win. They are wonderful. And also, but just, it's sort of like, it seems like things will sort of fall into place. Just small things that'll allow me to, continue to do what I'm doing. Like I said, in the winter, and I sort of feel a little cautious about saying this, but I know that, some women, they sort of struggle with this, like, well, I want to wear skirts, but it's so cold outside, and I don't know what to do. Well, it's like, tights, and tights are wonderful, and some people are like, well, I hate tights. I hate tights, too. I really do. I don't wear tights with the, like the stocking tights with the little waistband that cuts into your body. I don't wear those anymore. Okay, now I'm not saying this to do anything weird or, it's not a sexual thing, it's a tip. I wear thigh-high tights. And for you ladies out there, thigh-high tights are wonderful. Do they slip? Yes, they do. What do you do in order to solve that problem? Garter belts. They're not some, sexual fantasy thing you find at some weird stores. And once upon a time, that's what every woman wore, unless she had some sort of weird thing that, kept them up anyway. But yeah, they're wonderful, and you can put on several pairs of tights, and only clip the outside, and that'll keep everything up. Ladies, it's wonderful, and it distributes sort of like the pressure, because the belt fits snugly, but it distributes the pressure, so you don't have this 1-inch corset going around your stomach. And I'm like, what an amazing idea! And I found one for like on sale for like $6. And and that was just something else where it's sort of like things just fall into place. We were like, wow. I mean, I would have never thought. And then, because I love to ride my bike, and I am now in a place where I can ride my bike anywhere I want. It's amazing. I loved it. But I'm sort of like, okay, well, because I did the whole baggy shorts and t-shirt thing last year, and or over the summer, and I'm like, especially when I go grocery shopping, after work and school, like on Mondays, I look like a boy. I didn't like it. I just don't like it. I like skirts. I feel more comfortable in skirts. I feel more comfortable looking like a girl. That's It's just me. And it sort of plays on that whole feeling conviction that I should dress in skirts. I'm not saying that skirts are the end-all, be-all, that we all have to wear skirts, that if you don't wear skirts, then you're a Jezebel, you're going to hell. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, for me, I feel better in skirts. That's not, I mean, I miss flared pants. I miss flared pants so much. I love me some bell-bottom flared jeans. I mean, they look so nice on everybody. It's like it flatters all body types. All body types look amazing in flared jeans. But I feel convicted to wear skirts. And I'm sort of like, okay, I'll wear skirts. But I sure do miss me some of them flared jeans. I guess that's just sort of a tiny cross I have to bear. So, like, I want to wear flared jeans, but I feel only right in skirts. But girls who do wear flared jeans, I'm like, yes. Thank you for foregoing the skinny jeans. Some girls can pull off skinny jeans. I am not one of them. I have tried on skinny jeans, and because I'm actually pear-shaped, I mean, I'm slender because, you know, I do a lot of working and stuff like that. But, you know, proportionately, I'm pear-shaped. And skinny jeans will just, like, my hips. I mean, they're like, boom! I look like a penguin/bowling pin when I wear skinny jeans. So even when I was wearing pants, skinny jeans were not something I could try. But flares is like, they don't discriminate. They look excellent on everyone. Try them. But anyway, but, you know, I love riding bikes and stuff like that. And I was going to get a really nice bike because, hey, it's Christmas, or it was around Christmas that I was looking at bikes. It's been a couple months since I was planning on buying a new bike because my other one was sold to a pawn shop so that my family can make ends meet. Anyway, but this, I was looking into it a few months, and because it's like, Christmas was coming up, my birthday was coming up, I graduated only a few weeks ago, and I was going to start grad school, so I'm like, I want to get something for myself. I want to get something nice for myself. So I'm like, ooh, cool touring bike I found on, you know, Amazon. It was nice. It was about $200. It was a nice bike, and I'm like, okay, cool, that's going to be my new bike, yay. But then, I'm just sort of, I mean, at first I was, like, I'd look on Craigslist for my area, and I couldn't find anything. Nothing that was, you know, good, you know, they're all like, meh. But then, like, just a few days, when I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and buy my bike now. Just a few days where I'm like, you know, I'm gonna, you know, click, because it, like, it takes me a while before I make big purchases like that. For me, that is a big purchase. $200 is a lot of money for me. But I'm like, well, let me check out Craigslist one more time. I mean, I was planning on, I wanted a brand new bike, something inexpensive that, you know, I didn't have to worry about. But then, it happened. It was posted several days before I had looked, but I'm sort of like, well, let me just email this guy anyway. It's a 70s 10-speed, but it's a woman's bike. Because I like road bikes. I like the big wheels, the 700cc wheels, and I also like the drop handlebars. You know, those sort of racing ones that are shaped like that. You know, they're weird shaped. And I'm just like, and it has, instead of the bar going straight across like all the other bikes. I mean, even women's bikes today, women's road bikes today, that, you know, are for women, they still have the bar that goes straight across, versus the bar that goes down. And I'm just like, I found it, and I'm like, that's it. It's beautiful. I mean, it's old. It's, you know, it rides very well. In fact, the guy at the bike shop, I mean, that was also a great situation because I found a guy who fixes bikes, will fix mine for free because I bought it from him, and was trying to get me to buy other bikes because he thought they were better for me. And he was only going to charge like maybe $20 or $30 more than what he was charging for the bike that I did get. And that was, you know, giving me, pretty much selling me these bikes that were complete overhauls. He was going to put new things on them and new that's on them. And it was like, yeah, you can take it for $130. And I'm like, that's awesome. But I like this one. And it's wonderful. I mean, the things I want to do with that bike are amazing. It's right over here. And that's why I keep looking over there. But I was just, because it's sort of like, and I look on the forums and they're like, oh, it's a terrible bike. It's old and it's cheap and nobody likes that brand of bike. Bike snobs are not fun. But the thing is sort of like, well, and they're like, oh, well, you should get a better bike. And I'm like, and they didn't say that to me, but just other people who had suggested on the forums. I'm like, but the thing about this bike is that, well, yeah, it has to drop handlebars. But It's got the down bar, which means it's a step-through frame, which means I can wear skirts when I ride this bike without too much trouble. Because I can ride on one, the straight bar, but this bike makes it easier for me to wear skirts. Like during the winter and spring, I can just wear my regular everyday clothes to work and not have to worry about it. Okay, and then in the summer, I can get an extra skirt from Kosher Casual, that awesome website based in Israel with amazing skirts and wonderful prices. I can get one of those and ride on my bike without any issues. And then I can make a skirt guard so it doesn't fall into the spokes. I mean, seriously. And it just poofed out of nowhere, this bike that would allow me to dress the way I like to dress, the way I feel that I should dress, the way I feel called to dress. And I'm just like, no way. Only for $100 plus new handlebar grips, because it had like this purely decorative tape. It was very hard on my hands because it was just my hands were just on hard metal. And he's like, oh yeah, well, because at first he's like, well, it's 119, but I'll give it to you for 100. And he's like, but it needs new handlebars, so he gave me like these $20 foam thingies for the handlebars. He's like, oh well, I'll just knock it up to 119, the price the bike was originally. So it was either that I bought the bike and got the grips for free, or I bought the bike for 100 and I got a discount on the grips. Either way, it was a win-win situation. So I have this awesome bike that sort of materializes out of nowhere that's going to let me wear my skirts whenever I want. I mean, that... So I was just like so excited, and I love my bike so much. And the fact that it just appeared out of nowhere was $100 less than what I was originally going to buy. I mean, sometimes it just seems like, I don't know, like God just sort of make those little things work out. Because when you're trying to, please Him, see, we're getting to the faith territory, so I'm getting a little like, when you try to please Him, try to do something for Him, I'm not too surprised when, He makes it a little easier for you. When it's sort of like, He makes it so like, oh, well, you want to wear skirts because you feel that I am telling you to wear skirts? Well, here's a bike that'll let you wear skirts that you will love because it's adorable, and, you can wear skirts with it because it is adorable. I mean, seriously, this bike is beautiful. Because it's like this brown color. I don't even like brown paint, but it just looks right on this bike. It looks old-fashioned, but it's like, it's from the 70s, so it's got it's beautiful. It's wonderful. Just take my word for it. But anyway, that is just sort of one of those things where I'm like, I feel like God is helping me, and that's one of those things where it's sort of like, this is something God wants me to do, because there are things that sort of pop up that make it either easier or seem to be, because I'm doing this, is sort of like, here's a gift. And I'm like, yes, thank you. Just sort of those little pieces of manna where you're just like in the desert, covering your hair and wearing skirts by yourself. And then suddenly, here's a bike. And you're like, whoa. So, but yeah, I think that's the end of this video. Merry Christmas, day 13, I believe, because it is still Christmas. It is, get your Christmas on, because it is Christmas still. Happy New Year. I hope you all have had a wonderful last 6 months since I last spoke to you. God bless and Godspeed. Bye!